Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and welcome to the live Q&A in LA. Same time every week, Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for joining me. And we got some news to cover, and I'm going to buy some crypto tonight and show you guys how to store it. So why don't we get moving? Alright, so welcome everybody. Hey Shahid, welcome back again. Thank you for being a devoted viewer to this stream. I appreciate it. Let's see here. I'm going to go over to the screen. Let's see, we'll switch over to the browser and we'll go over to the screen here. So this is fairly recent, just this afternoon. Coinbase is confirming that they're going to be doing a IPO, which is an initial public offering. And that's not an ICO, right? We all know what ICOs are since we're devoted crypto followers. That's where a new blockchain-based company issues its own tokens on the Ethereum network in order to raise funds. And the thing is usually financed with Ethereum because that's how you buy ERC20 tokens. But Coinbase is going to do an IPO, which is initial public offering, which is the traditional way for, you know, a brick and mortar company to raise revenue and go public, right? They're going to start selling stock. They'll do a premium stock offering for the big guys first, and then some regular stock for the rest of us, right? Hey, Gabrielle, nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about the breaking news that Coinbase is going public. Now, as you are aware, Coinbase is one of the most recognized ways for people in the US to buy cryptocurrency easily and securely. I pretty much use Coinbase for all my initial purchases because they will accept my debit card and my bank account. There are other platforms where you can link your bank account or deposit cash or whatever, but Coinbase is one of the easiest and recognized. And so when they go public and that makes a big splash on Wall Street, that's going to give more attention to the crypto space, I think. So that's a good thing. And then let's see what other news we got going on today. The 26th, we've got an unconfirmed rumor that the Bakkt company, B-A-K-K-T, which is a consortium of companies that are going to be developing blockchain solutions, which include Microsoft and Starbucks, and the owner of the New York Stock Exchange, ICE, I believe is the name of the company. Their project could go start launching as soon as next week, and they're going to have BTC futures. And those are futures contracts where people can buy and sell contracts based on their bet whether Bitcoin will go up or down. And I believe that they're going to have some sort of custodial solution for Bitcoin as well, similar to Fidelity, where they're going to allow people to buy Bitcoin and they'll store it for them. Supposedly more secure than a server. Hey, Chavert, nice to see you. Grand Illusion, thanks for joining us once again. Just going through the news here. So we've got the Bakkt announcement, or rumor, so to speak. We've got the Coinbase going public thing, which is cool. And let's see, like some other topics here. Okay, so if you follow the markets the way I do, which is a few times a day, I check the price of Bitcoin. You should be aware that Bitcoin has not really budged much at all over the last week or so. They say here about 10 days. The volatility is really low. So Bitcoin just seems to be hovering around the $6,500 mark, maybe going down a little bit, maybe going up a little bit, and the rest of the crypto market is sort of following suit. So this article is talking about the low volatility, which is a sign that the speculators have sort of left this space.
I found this.
Oh, it's a crayon.
Yeah, it's an orange one.
All right.
I found that.
I just bought my son Alex 120 crayons today, and he's just having a ball looking at all the different colors he's got. So hopefully this is a good sign that there will be some breakout to the upside. That's my hope. I would like to see the crypto market succeed rather than fail, right? So hopefully that's a good sign, because it's been kind of frustrating. It's kind of a weird feeling, because all this year I've watched Bitcoin go up and down, and on a pretty regular basis, and mostly on a downward trend. And then now, for the last 10 days, I've just watched it just kind of stuck in this range. So it's a little frustrating, because I keep waiting for that big, push to the moon, or whatever you want to call it, that people keep talking about. We don't know if we're going to see it this year or not. I hope so. But this article is talking about some trending signs that Bitcoin is ready to break out. And let's see what else we got here today. So this is the more to the point. Is Bitcoin primed to initiate a rally above 7,000 after weeks of stability? That's pretty much what I was mentioning here, that Bitcoin has been pretty stable over the last 10 days. So hopefully we'll see a breakout. And it's interesting, because we just can't get enough good news, and I always lamented that whenever we heard bad news, the markets reacted negatively, and then whenever we get good news, nothing happens. So when things are on the upswing, good news like this really makes the market break out. So if this were December of 2017, these news stories about Bakkt and Fidelity and the Coinbase public offering would have just shot the crypto market up to the moon. But it's just kind of staying still. Maybe that is a sign that clearer heads are prevailing, right? And those of us who are holding patiently will be rewarded in the end. All right, so we hear crypto market moon approved. Thanks for joining me, K-Town, Gregory. It's good to have everybody here. So I thought tonight, if there aren't any specific questions, that I would cover in general a few things that people have asked me over the last year or so. So I'm going to buy some cryptocurrency, and I was thinking of doing a couple of things. One is I'm going to buy some altcoin. Most of you, most of the mainstream people know you can go on Coinbase and buy Bitcoin. That's pretty straightforward. Moving it into your own wallet might be a little tricky, but everybody knows it's pretty easy to go on Coinbase, buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, or Ethereum Classic, and now 0x also. I want to buy an altcoin, a coin that's not on Coinbase. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And somebody asked me earlier, how do I store ERC20 tokens on my ledger if they're not like in the accounts, right? And we do that using my Ether wallet. So I'm going to do that for those of you who are interested in that. Hopefully, just kind of sit back and watch me go through it, so you can wrap your mind around how it works. Maybe this time next year all this stuff will be obsolete, but for now, in order to get certain altcoins, we have to buy something and fund a cryptocurrency exchange that carries that altcoin, and then after that I'll show you how to store it on my Ledger Nano S. I'm going to store both of these on, And also, I'm going to store an altcoin on the Ledger Nano S that is not in the accounts. I've had a few questions about that. It's pretty straightforward if we're using Ledger Live, if they're covered in the accounts section. But there are several cryptocurrencies that are available on Ledger that you can use the app that have no corresponding account support. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do, I believe I'll do Stellar. What you got there, buddy?
What the fuzzy wuzzy at the back?
Fuzzy Wuzzy? And it was at the back?
Yeah.
That's Fuzzy Wuzzy Brown? Okay. So they got all kinds of Crayola colors now. All right. So we'll start here at Ledger Live. Just so those of you who have Ledger, I don't think they usually have a... I'm not going to do the update while I'm live because you never know if something weird happens. I'm just going to hang back on that. When you're on Ledger Live, there are certain coins that have account, and you can add them over here, right? You've got all these coins that you can add. So you need to download the corresponding app in the manager, and then you can add the account over here in account. Now there are some, like I mentioned, that aren't in accounts. So we can't use Ledger Live to view their balances or send and receive tokens. We have to use alternate methods. So I'm going to demo that. So let's see. We're thinking about an ERC20 token. If anybody has any, which coins excite me? That's pretty good. If there are any, I don't know. I'll probably just decide on my own because it's my crypto, right? I don't want to buy anything. So let's go over to, we're going to use Bittrex. I'll go ahead and use Bittrex. I have a password manager over here. I'm going to log into my Bittrex account. They want me to do this business, cars, 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 cars. Those look like cars. And then there was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Let's see here. I'm going to do my two-factor authentication. I hope all of you are out there using two-factor authentication. All right, so what is this, Bittrex? These are temporary codes generated by my Google Authenticator app. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to check, if I have my eye on an altcoin, right? Let's go over to wallets, and let's start with lumens, right? All right, if I want to buy some lumens, I need to see what trading pairs they have. On Bittrex, they don't really show you all at once, but when we click on it, BTC is the big boy, right? So we can trade Bitcoin for Stellar or lumens, Stellar lumens. Let's see if ETH. Do they have an ETH market? It's a little hard to get these. Let's try it this way. All right. So let's see. We've got the we know we can buy lumens with Bitcoin. Let's try.
Razzmatazz, one word.
Razzmatazz. That's a color, I guess.
It doesn't have in French or Spanish.
No French or Spanish. Okay. Okay, so I checked Loom under Ethereum. I can't buy it with Ethereum. Some of these coins you can buy, they're supported with multiple different trading pairs. Let's try Loom here. I don't see it under Tether, so I'm going to stick with Bitcoin. So what that means is I want to buy some Bitcoin and transfer it into my Bittrex account so I can buy some Stellar lumens. There's one more that I was interested in. As for an ERC20 token, let's do BAT. All right, basic attention token. It's a little bit expensive right now, but they have BTC trading pair. And let's see markets here. Let's see if you can. You should be able to buy it with ETH too, I would think. It is an ERC20 token. Huh. That's weird. Oh, Well, they have Ethereum Classic. Maybe if I typed it correctly, right? Okay, so they have a trading partner for BAT too. All right. So just for the sake of argument, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin and some Ethereum. We'll use the Ethereum to buy the BAT, and we'll use the Bitcoin to buy the Stellar. All right. So let's get going on that. So I'm going to go to Coinbase. Sign in. Use my password manager. I don't save my passwords in the browser. That's insecure. You should be using a full-blown password manager because it saves your passwords in encrypted format on your hard drive. The password file that the browser saves is vulnerable to hackers. It's not as secure as the standalone password managers. All right, so let's get into Coinbase here. Once again, I'm using Google Authenticator. Because I'm using this brand new browser, it's asking me to authorize. So let's take care of that. I don't know why. I guess Google really wants me. Alright, so I got to switch over to my personal. That's the one that's tied to my Coinbase. So it wants me to confirm that through email, which I will do. Alrighty, so we're in Coinbase. Alright, so we want to buy some. Let's see, we're going to do Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So let's go to buy, sell. We got Bitcoin up here, and I'm not going to use the checking account. I'm going to use the, what do we got another color.
I got the skin color.
Oh.
It's tan.
That's great. He loves the color, I'll tell you. All right, so the Bitcoin we're going to use to buy our Stellar, let's buy $100 worth. All right. I'll buy 105, so that'll cover the merchant charge, right? That way I'll get myself $100. So we'll hit buy Bitcoin instantly. Notice I'm using the debit card because that's going to give it an instantaneous buy. All right? Hopefully. Yeah, so I got the Bitcoin. All right? And we can go over here to accounts and see that there's Bitcoin in there now. So now we'll buy some Ethereum. We'll buy, and we didn't really have to do it this way. We could have just bought all of one and then traded it on the exchange, but just for the sake of demonstration, we'll do Ethereum now. I'm not Ethereum Classic, just regular ETH. I'm going to make sure I'm using the debit, and I'm going to do 50 of this one. And I'll do 53, right? Just to make sure I get that $50 worth. Just covering the merchant charge, which is $3. That's the hit you take for using Coinbase because it's convenient, right? And so we're going to hit those. We'll make sure it's on debit. We'll confirm that, and there it goes. All right, now I could transfer this directly over to Bittrex, but I would take an additional hit on network fees. So in order to avoid that, I'm going to move both of these into my Coinbase Pro account. So I'll open up a new tab. It's free to open a Coinbase Pro account. If you've got a Coinbase account, you should get yourself signed up for Coinbase Pro. You actually log in with your same credentials that you have for your Coinbase, and then they get linked together. But you still have to like manually move your coins in there from Coinbase. Go figure. All right. So in order to do that, we'll go over here to wallets. We'll make a deposit. We'll start with that Bitcoin that we bought.
Sunglow.
Sunglow. Wow. All right. And then you see here I've got two choices. I'm going to choose Coinbase Wallet. And you see there's that Bitcoin balance, right? I'm just going to max it out. I'm going to move all that Bitcoin that I bought on Coinbase into Coinbase Pro. We'll hit deposit. And there. Now it's in my Coinbase Pro account, which is their trading platform. And they will absorb network fees. That's why I'm doing this. I'm saving on network fees, right? Didn't cost me anything to transfer it from Coinbase to Coinbase Pro, and then it won't cost me anything when I transfer it into Bittrex either. All right, so let's do another deposit, and we're going to do Ethereum this time. And you'll see I can move it over from my Coinbase wallet. There it is. I'm going to max it out. I don't know why I lost a little bit there. Probably market, whatever. I'm going to hit deposit, and there. Now I've got it in here. All right, so now we want to move both of these over to Bittrex. All right, so all we got to do is go over here to Bittrex. We'll go over here to wallets, and we'll start with the Bitcoin. Oh, I got to get rid of that. I don't know why they saved that. So anyway, let's see. We got Bitcoin down here. Arwa, thank you. Okay. All right, Vichy. It is pretty straightforward for most, for me at least, but not for everyone else. But I understand. After we get this done, let's make a deposit. All right, and we're going to take our copy. That's going to copy the Bitcoin address of the Bittrex wallet into my clipboard. And then once I've done that, I just go back over here to Coinbase Pro and hit withdraw. All right, and I'm going to select Bitcoin. And I'm going, the destination is that address I just copied into my clipboard, right? You'll notice it starts with a 1. Most of the exchanges use the old address format because the newer one doesn't always work right. I know for a fact, I think Coinbase could probably handle a SegWit Bitcoin address that starts with a 3 or something. But not always. I know that they don't do the new Litecoin format either. So I'm going to send it all. Ah, please. Come on, it's in there. Yeah, I had this problem earlier too. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to wallets. Bitcoin. Right. Didn't we just make a deposit today? Today's the 27th. Yeah, wherever they are. All right, so let's try again. It's weird, like it's there, but it's not there, right? So I'm gonna do withdraw again. I'm gonna choose Bitcoin. It says I have 0 Bitcoin. Let's try again. No. All right, let's try the ETH. Maybe the ETH is like, okay. This is what I get trying to do all this live, right? I've had this before when I'm, see, it tells me I got 150, right? Let's see if there's a different way I can access the interface, right? Okay, so this is BTC. Let's see if it will just let me withdraw this BTC. All right. Ah, see? There it is. Go figure, guys. Don't panic. Don't panic. Oh, look, it's still telling me it's not there. All right, let's try again. Oh, dear. Ah, yay, we did it. Okay. All right, so now we're going to withdraw it into that our Bittrex. We'll hit withdraw, and we got to confirm. All right, so we're going to confirm that with our Bittrex code. All right, hit withdraw. Whoops. Oh, I guess I waited too long. Okay, guys. Oh, because I was going to Bittrex from Coinbase, so I needed to use my Coinbase two-factor authentication, right? All right, so it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes, right? So it's got to be the Coinbase. All right, we've maxed it out again. And we need the Coinbase. All right, so now we should get there. All right, so we'll have to maybe talk a little bit and do some questions while this moves over. So it could take 15 or 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get the Ethereum going. So we'll switch over to ETH, and you can see there it shows I have an ETH balance. I'm going to withdraw. We'll go to ETH. All right. Now we need to get an Ethereum address. Please don't try to send the wrong cryptocurrency to the wrong address. That's going to be a problem, right? It probably wouldn't take the Bitcoin address, right? It probably would say, eh. Okay. See, so it's helping us a little bit. So we need to get an Ethereum address from Bittrex. So we'll go back over to Bittrex. We'll do this. Here's our Ethereum. We want to make a deposit, and we can make a copy here. All right, that is the Ethereum address of the Bittrex wallet. Bittrex has separate wallets for all the different cryptocurrencies, right? But they're all your account. And let's see, we'll go back over here to Coinbase Pro. Right, we'll put in the correct Ethereum address. It likes it. We'll hit max. All right, we'll hit withdraw. And we need to make sure that we use our Coinbase two-factor authentication. 147103. All right, and boom, there we go. All right, so like I said, we could have just done all this in Bitcoin if we wanted to, and sent all the Bitcoin over there and then use that Bitcoin to buy the cryptocurrency that we were interested in. But in the case of the lumens, or let's say we used ETH all the way and we wanted to get the lumens, we would have had to send the ETH into the Bittrex, and then we would have had to buy Bitcoin before we could buy lumens, right? Because we couldn't buy lumens directly with Ethereum. So that's why I did it this way. But it's just as easy, you know, however you want to picture it in your brain. All right, so we can go down here and look at pending deposits, and you'll see that nothing is pending right now, right? Don't panic. It'll take it a little bit, all right? It could be 15 minutes or so. So let's talk a little bit while we're waiting on this. Stellar Lumens inflation payout, or maybe a video. You know what? I've been asked this before, and I'm not quite sure what that means when you say inflation payout. Now, I know that some of the cryptocurrency exchanges, when you trade on the decentralized Stellar exchanges, they reward you for using their exchange, small amounts of Stellar Lumens. And they also will refund your trading fees because they want to attract, similar to Coinbase Pro, they will, because trading with Stellar is so cheap, they're willing to pay you back those fees out of pocket. So I'll show you my Stellar wallet, and there are minor little payments of Stellar that are coming in. I'm not sure what this Stellar inflation thing is. I'm a little not too familiar with what that is, to be honest. Okay, so let me. Andy is asking me about ADA and Digibyte. ADA is not supported on yet on the ledger, but Digibyte is. So you'll notice that I've got a Digibyte wallet here. I got a legacy Digibyte, and they've changed address format too. So that's where I feel is the best place to store your Digibyte, on a hardware-based wallet like the Ledger. Now I'm sure that maybe the Trezor would maybe supports Digibyte as well, but for long-term safe offline storage, the hardware wallet is your best bet. You could also use Paper. Paper Wallet is a decent offline way to store your cryptocurrency as well. I'm not sure about Digibyte paper wallet. They might exist, so that would be another option. But as far as I'm concerned, the Ledger Nano is a good solution for Digibyte because it supports it in Ledger Live, right? You can view your balance, you can send and receive, you can do all that good stuff with Digibyte. Now, Digibyte also has a desktop-based wallet that you can use as well. You could install the Digibyte wallet on your computer, and then when you do that, they're going to give you a seed phrase, right? And that seed phrase is on paper in a safe place. You could transfer some Digibyte into that wallet and then uninstall the wallet on the computer so that it wouldn't be any danger of that wallet getting hacked. And then your seed phrase will safely store that wallet offline until you're ready. So that's kind of a offline storage method, is to just store the seed phrase in a safe place. As far as ADA goes right now, since Ledger doesn't support ADA, if you want to store it offline, you can use the Daedalus wallet, which is the desktop version of the ADA wallet. Let's see, here we go to ADA, Cardano. Oh, ADA is also a programming language, and it is also the name of the very first computer programmer, if you're not aware of that. Oops. Ada Lovelace was a friend of George Gordon Byron. Charles Babbage made one of the first calculating machines back in the 1800s. And Ada Lovelace had the idea for some sort of cards. I'm not sure exactly the format. She was the first to be published. She published an algorithm which could be carried out by the machine, and so she's recognized, one of the first to recognize the full potential of the computing machine and the first programmer. Pretty cool. Anyway, I knew about that because I did some programming in the Ada language. So we were talking about Cardano and the Cardano wallet, right? The Daedalus wallet. So you can download Daedalus to your computer. You can use it to store your ADA, and it even has a very specific way to make a ADA paper wallet. It'll create a paper wallet for you. You can print it out, and then you can scan in the address or type in the address and store ADA in that paper wallet and keep that in a safe place. So that's a pretty good long-term storage solution for your ADA. And like I mentioned, if you have an ADA wallet with some ADA in it already, you can uninstall it on your computer and just save that seed phrase that you used when you created the wallet. When you create the wallet, they force you to write down your seed phrase, right? All of the information in that wallet is stored in that seed phrase in that paper wallet. So even if you add more ADA down the road to that address, when you restore the wallet, all of the transactions will be there, right? It's kind of weird how that works. You can create an empty wallet and store that seed phrase in a safe place, and then over time you can add and remove cryptocurrency from the wallet, and then destroy the wallet and restore it from the seed phrase which you created when the wallet was empty, and that seed phrase will restore the wallet to its present state, right? It will show you all of the transactions, and that's because the seed phrase restores the address on the blockchain, and because you have access to that address on the blockchain, all of the transactions would still be there, and the balance, right? Sure, no problem. Okay, when I G Graham is asking, when I transferred my Litecoin from Coinbase to my Loaf wallet for X amount of dollars and the price goes up, does my Litecoin go up as well or stay the same from the day I transferred? No. If you store your any cryptocurrency that you have stored somewhere, if the price goes up, then the value of that cryptocurrency that you have goes up as well. Just like if you buy a gold coin and stick it in your cabinet somewhere and the price of gold goes up, then that coin is worth more. If you were to try to spend it down the road or sell it back to the guy you bought it from, he'd pay you more than what you bought it for because the value, the price of gold went up. So if the price of Litecoin goes up, let's say you put 5 Litecoins in your Loaf wallet, those 5 Litecoins will be worth more. You could transfer them back to the cryptocurrency exchange and reap your profits, I guess, if that's what if your intention was. Let's check Bittrex real quick and see if we've got a pending transaction, pending deposit. Okay, so we got the ETH. The ETH is almost there. It's gone through 21 of 36 confirmations. That's a blockchain-based confirmation process that needs to happen to prevent fraud and double spend, right? So let's see, is the Bitcoin here yet? No, the Bitcoin hasn't even shown up as a pending deposit, which kind of sucks. But it'll show up, don't worry. We didn't wait very long, right? I don't remember exactly when we started this whole thing, but I believe it was only about 5 or 10 minutes ago. Sometimes it takes 15 or 20, depending on the network and how busy it is and all that stuff. I used to always use Litecoin, but Litecoin required that extra step of having to purchase either Bitcoin or Ethereum to buy the coin I was interested in. So Litecoin was a more complicated way to do it, although faster. I always used to use Litecoin, but I've noticed lately that the other coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum, are moving a bit faster now than they were, right? Hi Dad, my Empower coin is not transferred to my ETH wallet. Please help MW for transaction. Empower, I'm not sure, is that an ERC20 token? Hey Scott, nice to see you. G Graham says, now I can make my wife feel better. I didn't mess up. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, Gabriel is expanding on the Stellar inflation question. Stellar inflation payout is that Stellar pays you lumens for holding their coins in a wallet. In addition to holding coins in a wallet, you also have to vote by joining a pool. Oh, okay. I should probably check that out. I know I'm holding my Stellar in a wallet, so we can check the wallet to see if there's any small amounts of Stellar that have come in. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get this. That's going to be a while. I can't rush it, right? So let's go. Let's play with Stellar, because we're eventually going to put that Stellar in this wallet, right? So, and this is a good example of storing a cryptocurrency that is supported by Ledger, but not by their Ledger Live software, right? So if you look here in the manager, well, first of all, we need to enter our PIN, right? So we'll enter the PIN. If I can remember it. Whoops. Even if you forget your PIN, you can always do a restore from your 24-word recovery phrase and then create a new PIN. So don't panic. I'll remember this PIN. All right. I'm currently in Stellar, but I'm gonna quit Stellar, and I'm gonna go back out to the main window, and I'm gonna show you the manager. The manager is up here in the corner. This is where you add and remove apps, all right, which give you functionality. Unfortunately, it didn't ask me to confirm. It does sometimes. All right, these apps add functionality for different cryptocurrencies, but unfortunately, you can't install an unlimited number of them on the Stellar, or I'm sorry, on the Ledger. The Ledger will only hold 4 or 5 at a time, sometimes less, depending on what you're doing. All right. So, for example, you can see here that you can install Stellar, but it's not available in accounts. You can install Tron, but it's not available in accounts. You can install Monero, but it's not available in accounts. There's several of them that are like, as you can see, there's like, I don't know, I would say 20 or 30 that you can install as apps on here. But then if you look in accounts, there's, not as many, right? So today we're going to deal with Stellar, right? So the first order of business is we go into the Stellar app, we hit both buttons, and then we're in Stellar, right? Now I don't need Ledger Live anymore. I can just get rid of that, right? I don't need it for Stellar. So what I do is I go over to Stellar, the Stellar homepage. There's several ways to do this, but this is the most straightforward. I'm just going to go to the Stellar wallet. You got all these wallets you can use. You could store it in a desktop wallet or whatever, but they have this Ledger option here. And I feel this is the safest way to deal with Ledger. There are other, some of these others might support Ledger wallets too. They do, actually. So this is the most straightforward way. We're going to use the account viewer. It's a web-based interface, but it accesses the Ledger private key that's stored here. Right? So we can sign in and boom. There's our Stellar address, our public Stellar address, the private Stellar key, or the private address, if you want to call it an address. It's probably better to call it a key. That's stored on here and you never see it, right? It's stored on the Ledger, and the only way to restore it should the Ledger get lost or broken is from the 24-word recovery phrase of the Ledger, right? So you don't have a Stellar backup phrase. You don't need it, because once it gets created on this Ledger, it can always be recreated by restoring with the 24-word recovery phrase. So let's go down a bit and check out some of my additions here. lumenut.net, right? It looks like I received 0.69 Stellar into this wallet from lumenut.net. And I don't know if that's an inflation payment or not. Now I think there are maybe some other small ones. I don't know why it doesn't. I thought I had more than this. But that looks like the only small one that I've got. And I would think there'd be more. I don't know if they're running out of room. Oh, here, view all payments. Okay. Oh, okay, so it was hiding some that were even smaller, right? So here's a Stellar X fee refund. That was because I was trading on the Stellar X platform, and I made a few little trades. That is a very, very small amount right there. But that's okay. Yeah. See, I've got a few of these Stellar X fee refunds. Here's the Lumenet X, which I think is the inflation payment that Gabrielle was referring to. And so it appears to be just automatic, right? It just goes into the wallet. Here, I got some airdrop Stellar from somebody. I don't know why. A couple other little small payments. So it looks like they're just coming in automatically. So you need to store your Stellar in a wallet, and you need to be able to view the balance and transaction history of the wallet. And the easy way to do that is this Stellar account viewer. Pretty cool. Yeah. And so let's see where we're at with Bittrex. Did we get that Ethereum yet? Let's try. I sure hope that Bitcoin comes through sometime before I'm done. Okay, there's the BTC. So the BTC is on its way in as well, and it's waiting for total confirmation. But we've got the Ethereum now. The Ethereum has now been totally confirmed, so now it's spendable, right? So now we can spend it. So what we want to do is we're going to get some BAT, and I'm going to store it on the ledger using my Ether wallet. So we'll do one of those. BAT is pretty straightforward. You don't have to add it. It's already supported. But, you know, whatever. So we go to BAT, right? I have 0 right now. So I need to buy some. I'm not going to deposit or withdraw because we're doing this on the exchange, right? We're going to actually make a purchase, right? So I want to buy some BAT, and this is where I'm woefully inadequate, but I'm going to bungle through this. So we want to buy some BAT, right? And if you want to buy, we should use the ask price, I guess. I always get confused by this, right? All right, so I'm going to use the ask price. I'm going to hit max buy, right? And then it shows me, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, the BTC isn't in here yet. Sorry, guys. Mr. Dum Dum, right? We're going to do ETH market. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so we want to do BAT. Okay, here we go. We're on the right trading pair now, right? All right, so we want to buy some BAT and with our Ethereum. So I'm going to use the ask, and I'm going to hit max buy, and there. So I can afford to buy 189 BAT right now. And I'm going to hit buy BAT. And so there, it's going to give me 189 BAT. And this is going to be a limit order, so it might take a little while. Hopefully it'll execute while we're all still here. All right, we'll hit confirm. All right, it looks like it just went through right away, which is good news for us, right? Let's go back over here to our wallets. And boom, we've got the basic attention token right there. Good for us, right? All right, so let's go over to my Ether wallet. My Ether wallet is a website, and you want to make sure that you're on the official My Ether wallet website. Don't get phished. They want you to go through all this, which I won't. I'm just going to hit this. All right. I know I'm on the right site here, right? Now, we're going to go to... oh, we don't need to send because we're receiving, right? So I can just go view wallet info. And how do I want to view the info? With my ledger. Oh, so we got to go through a little step here before we go through that. We go back over here to live. I'm going to quit the Stellar app, right? And I need to install the right app. So this is the process that we have to go through. And it was weird because I seem to remember that I could hold several of these, but for whatever reason, it's just being a pain. Just for the, we'll go ahead and just do it to keep them happy, right? So I'm going to take Stellar and Tron apps off. I did not delete the cryptocurrency, that private keys. All I did was take the app off, the functionality. right? And then I'm going to install Ethereum. All right, that's doing its thing.
Oh, I have a rage feed now, and it's really helping because I like to hear.
All right, so now the Ethereum app is on the device. I don't need Ledger Live for this, right? There is an Ethereum account, but in order to use ERC20 tokens, we have to use My Ether Wallet or My Crypto, right? So we're going to enter the Ethereum app, right? And now for My Ether Wallet, and you don't have to go to account settings anymore. They don't have it. They just support, because Ledger Live uses the same interface as this. They used to have another setting you had to change, but you don't need to anymore. So Ledger Wallet, and we say connect with Ledger. All right, I was just getting in there, so I'm gonna refresh. All right, we're gonna try it one more time. We're gonna re-enter. Right, we're gonna use Ledger, connect with Ledger. There. Sometimes it doesn't always work on the first try. I know that can be nerve-wracking when you're dealing with crypto, right? So there's an ETH balance in there. I'm just going to use the default. I'm going to unlock the wallet. And boom, there we go. Now we're in, right? So there you can see I have an ETH address up here. This is the address of the Ethereum wallet, right? I can look at it in Ledger Live too. Yeah. It's like the legacy one, right? Same balance, 006, right? 006, right? But we're just using a different interface. That's all it is. We're still accessing the same private key on this Ledger device. We're just using a different interface, right? And in this interface, we can view ERC20 tokens, all right? So we'll show all tokens, all right? And we're going to go down to BAT. So we got BAT, it's in alphabetical order, so I'm going to hit click to load. Right? And then now it shows that I have a 0 BAT balance, right? I have not transferred any BAT into this wallet yet. All right? So, does it give me a specific BAT address? No. We just use the Ethereum address, the main Ethereum address. This is the address that we're going to give to Bittrex. So we're going to do a withdrawal of our BAT tokens, and the address will be that Ethereum address that's associated with my Ledger Nano S. All right? Pretty simple. I'm just going to send it all. They're going to take 10 out. Curse them. And then we'll hit withdrawal. And we need to put our two-factor authentication for Bittrex, right? That I'm just giving you a demonstration. I may not have done it the smartest way because I lost some fees on the withdrawal, right? It might have made more sense to send it. Well, we couldn't. The problem was we couldn't buy the BAT on Coinbase Pro. If we were able to buy the BAT ERC20 token on Coinbase Pro, then we would have just used the Coinbase Pro to transfer it in. But they don't support it yet, so we had to go to an exchange that supported the altcoin we wanted, and so we had to we suffered a little bit of a transaction fee, right? And then we can go down here to pending withdrawals, and you can see that there's 179 BAT that's been authorized. We can go back over here to My Ether Wallet and just kind of wait until it's going to show up. Once it shows up here, you'll see it higher up. right? You don't have to scroll down to look for it. You'll just see it here. All right. And now we didn't need to do a custom token because Bakkt is already supported. They support hundreds, maybe thousands of them natively in MyEther wallet. But you can also add custom tokens if you know the right information. And I think I've done that before on this too. Yeah, there's some questions about how many ledgers you can sync to Ledger Live. I believe if you have more than one ledger, you might have to just like, I've never tried it, but you would probably need to remove the accounts and re-add them when you plugged in the new ledger. And you would like have to do that every time. So it's possible, but you can't like view multiple balances on multiple ledgers within the same Ledger Live interface. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah. Each account is tied directly to a private key on the ledger that you've got connected. So you might be able to get away with adding a separate account associated with a different ledger. I've never tried it. Might work. I don't know. But probably not. Sorry, let's do just kind of refresh this. Just in there. It's never gonna stop asking that until I go through all this. So let's just get through it. Beware, right? Don't get fished or screwed or hacked or whatever you want to call it. All right. I don't see the bat yet. Might take a little while. Patience is a virtue when we're dealing with crypto, right? There it is. Ta-da! It should be at the top. I don't know why it's not at the top. Ah, there we go. Show only balances gives me whatever balance I've got. So there you see it. We bought the bat. We transferred it into our MyEther wallet, and now that bat is safely, the private keys for that bat are stored safely on the ledger. That bat lives within the Ethereum address, and the private key of the Ethereum address is on here. So once, now it's safely stored, long-term storage on this guy. I can disconnect it from the computer and put it in a drawer, and no one's going to hack my bat, right? Even when I've got it connected, the only way to transfer crypto out is by using the buttons here. That's the fail-safe. So very good, safe solution for storing our BAT, right? Now let's check to see if our Bitcoin is fully looks like it's there now, right? Let's get rid of this, and we'll go over here and let's see our Bitcoin. Yeah, we got this Bitcoin. So let's buy our lumens, right? And if you remember, the trading pair for the lumen is Bitcoin. So I should just be able to get Loom and hit this, and it takes me right to the trading pair for lumens, right? So I want to buy lumens. Right, I got the buy is correct. That's what we want to do. And when we buy, it's an ask. I think you could also do last, but and then I want to hit max buy, right? And so, okay, I can buy 430 lumens with the amount of Bitcoin that I have right now, and I'm going to suffer an exchange, a transaction fee when I do it. Right, 430. Hey, buddy, what you got now?
The Granny Smith apple.
Granny Smith apple. That's like a green color. That's Alex checking in with the crayon colors. All right, so we'll just hit confirm. Don't want to talk too much because the price may change while I'm jabbering. Right. It looks like it went ahead and went through right away. I'm pretty lucky tonight. Right. I've got my lumens, and now I can transfer them into my wallet, right? All right, so now I need to go back into Ledger Live, and I'm going to go back to the manager. I'm going to exit my Ethereum app, right? And remember, we're just removing the functionality. We're not destroying private keys. So there may be a suite order that you can install these apps in that will allow you to install maybe 4 or 5, 6, maybe 7, depending on you know, your luck. But in this case, I'm going to take the Ethereum off. I found, whatever reason, the new Ethereum app is kind of a hog. And boy, if they come out with a new ledger, I'm going to buy one that has more storage space. All right. So I took Ethereum off. I'm going to install Stellar so we can get the Stellar functionality back, right? We didn't destroy the Stellar that was being stored on here. We just took that functionality off temporarily so we could play around with the Ethereum. All right? I'll go ahead and put the Tron back on there too. We can play around with Tron a little later too if you want. All right. All right, so now that we've got the Stellar back on, the app, the functionality, we need to go into the Stellar app. Is that Stellar? Yeah. Sorry, it's not very clear. I apologize. All right, and then let's go back to our Stellar account viewer. Actually, we didn't even need to do that because we have this address right here, right? And then this is a fail-safe. I can check this, and it's going to show me that same address on my ledger, right? So that I can make sure I'm not getting phished, right? I can confirm that these two addresses match, right? That's a fail-safe. All right, so I'm going to copy this into my clipboard. I'm going to go back over here to Bittrex, and I'm going to do a withdrawal. And we're going to do all the lumens, and I'm going to use the address from my Stellar wallet. The private keys are on here. I don't need the tag. The tag is only when you're going to like if you're purchasing from a big company that has one huge Stellar address for purchases, the tag would differentiate you from their other customers, right? Or some of the big cryptocurrency exchanges have like shared Stellar wallets, and so the tag is necessary. But in our case, it's not, because we're sending it directly into our own wallet. So I'm going to do a withdrawal. We're going to do our 6-digit authorization code for Bittrex. Hit withdrawal, and the withdrawal is submitted, right? So let's go back over to our Stellar account viewer. So we've got 4123, and I think I don't need to even refresh this screen. It's just going to show up. So what was it, 430? So we should be like around 45 when this works. Okay, so I noticed some. Let me just see where people are. Yeah, my crypto daughter is using Discord. She connects with her friends on Discord so that they can talk to each other while they're on Roblox playing games. Discord, she tells me. Right. Yeah, it's a little noisy in the house, but that's okay. Let's see. Signing into Ledger Live, you see all tokens from both ends, but can only access one account at a time. That's what I was thinking would probably happen. So if you create multiple, let's say you create multiple Bitcoin accounts, and then the account is there. Yeah, you should be keeping your ledger live up to date. And then I believe when you update the ledger live, that it updates the apps. But I'm not too sure about that. So you might need to, delete the app and re-add it to make sure you got the latest app. I would hope that it updates your apps when it updates Ledger Live, but I can't guarantee that. So it might behoove you to remove the app occasionally and re-add it so that you have the latest version of the app. I think there's a way to check it too. All right, so while we're waiting for that Stellar, or did it come in already? Yeah, there it is. It came in already. All right, so there's the Stellar. We did a couple of things. We bought some crypto, but our target crypto was not available on Coinbase, right? So we went to an exchange that had the crypto that we wanted, right? We wanted Bakkt and we wanted Stellar. So I use Bittrex. There are some other crypto exchanges that support both of those, like Binance and Bitfinex or Poloniex, I guess. But I used Bittrex. And once we funded the cryptocurrency exchange with our crypto, our Bitcoin and our Ethereum. And then we bought the cryptocurrency we were interested in. And after that, we transferred it back into our wallet. In the case of the Bakkt, we used my Ether wallet, right? And in the case of Stellar, we used the Stellar account viewer. So a little convoluted to buy crypto, altcoins, right? So, and it might stay that way for the next few years. Who knows? They might make it easier. I heard that Coinbase is considering BAT as their next ERC20 token, which will make it much easier to invest in BAT or have and hold. But even if I buy it directly on Coinbase, I usually am going to store it in my own wallet. I feel that's the best way to store your crypto, even overnight, right? You don't want to leave your crypto on an exchange. The exchange could go down, and then you wouldn't have access to your crypto. They shut down for maintenance or whatever. Bittrex and Binance, on a pretty regular basis, will do wallet maintenance. So you might run up there to grab, let's say, your lumens, and their lumen wallets are down, right? I think we looked earlier. I noticed there was one down, right? Here, Einsteinium, right? If I had any Einsteinium, I wouldn't be able to get it out because the wallet is under maintenance right now. Deposits and withdrawals are temporarily offline, awaiting dev response. Well, that could take a long time, right? So any of these, like Cardano goes down occasionally, Tron goes down occasionally. So don't keep your crypto on an exchange, right? And then there's the risk of the exchange being seized by the government, for all you know. I mean, there's lots of things that could go wrong by keeping your crypto on an exchange. The exchange could get hacked. People are always talking about cryptocurrency is insecure. Listen to all the stories about people getting hacked. It's usually not the people that are holding it in their wallets that are getting hacked. It's exchanges that are getting hacked. Weak server with weak security that are getting hacked. So don't listen to the hype. Store your cryptocurrency in your own wallet, a desktop-based wallet, or this hardware-based wallet, or a paper wallet. You have to be, you got to be rigorous, right? It's not like, Facebook or Twitter, you forget your password, you call tech support, or you lose your ATM card, you run down to the bank, you show them your ID, you get your money, access to your money back. Crypto's not like that. You have to be rigorous. You have to make sure you don't forget your password. Make sure you don't lose your seed phrase, and don't lose your, accidentally erase your two-factor authentication code. You have to be adults. It's not easy. Definitely not easy. But for us early adopters, it might be an opportunity to get in ahead of the rest of the herd, right? Because we're the ones that are willing to go the extra mile to figure all this stuff out, right? Hey. Okay, so we were talking a little bit about how we could maintain multiple accounts, right? So let's say, okay, I've got this account here, I've got this Bitcoin account here, and I want to add another one, right? So let's say I want to add another Bitcoin account, and I hit continue. I go into the Bitcoin app here, my ledger, right? See, it sees that there's one in there already, but it will allow me to add an empty one. There are actually some other empty ones that I had on here before that it's going to see. But when it's done scouring for those, it's going to create it allows me to create a blank one, right? An empty one, right? So let's say that I've got some Bitcoin stored here on this ledger, or the private keys are stored on this ledger. And then we unplug this ledger, plug a different ledger in for the first time. We create a blank Bitcoin account, and we could even name it. Like we could say Bitcoin Ledger 2, right? Just to keep it straight in our minds, right? And this would be when we've got the second one connected. We can add that account, right? And then we could transfer some Bitcoin into that address, right? It's a brand. Oh, I didn't mean to add those other two. I can take them later. All right. So when you've got the second ledger connected, you transfer some Bitcoin in there, right? The problem is that when you've got the ledger number 2 connected, you have no access to this account, right? You could see it. You can see the balance, but you can't send or receive because it's associated with the other ledger, right? But then when you reattach ledger 1, you'll have access to these, but not this one, right? The one that you've associated with your ledger 2. So not really very convenient, but possible, right? If you want to have multiple ledgers around. And you can also have multiple recovery phrases, right? So if you do a reset on your ledger, if you enter the PIN incorrectly 3 times, you could restore the ledger that you're using now, or you could create a new ledger account by setting it up as new. It'll generate a brand new 24-word recovery phrase, and then you'll have a whole nother ledger that you can use to store cryptocurrency on, and then you can restore it again with the original 24-word recovery phrase, and then also restore it again with the second recovery phrase. So you could have multiple accounts and balances on one ledger simply by restoring different 24-word recovery phrase. That's pretty, that takes a lot of time and devotion. It's tedious. But if you don't have enough money to buy more than one ledger, maybe that's another way to have multiple. Like, say you've got 50 Bitcoin, you don't want it to be on your working ledger, right? You could create that second ledger with the recovery phrase, put your 50 Bitcoin on there, and then just restore back to the working phrase, and just keep that seed phrase with the 50 Bitcoin on it somewhere really safe, right? Somewhere in multiple storage locations, right? If that's what your goal is. I don't know what your goal is for having 2 ledgers. Your wife has one, you have another. That's possible. My wife has one too, but she just uses it on her computer. So we keep them separate. And you can do the same thing too. You can use one ledger on your laptop and another ledger on your desktop. Make it simple. So if you lose your first ledger and then restore a new one and then find the lost one, will it not work? No, not at all. If you can take two ledgers and restore them both to the same recovery phrase, and then they will just be mirror images of each other, right? You can put crypto into either one of them, and the balance on both will be updated. You can use two different ledgers that have all of the same keys. That you just have a backup, right? Okay, have a safe trip, and don't forget you're going to Encino. My idea of having two was so I don't have everything I own all in one. Yeah. So, yeah, you could have one hidden away in the cabinet, and it's got half of what you own or most of what you own, and then you've got the one that you use from day to day. Or you could have a 24-word recovery phrase for a recovery option, save that in a safe place, and just swap them back and forth on the same ledger. I think I've got a video on that. If you go here, it's a very tedious method, and there's also a way on the ledger to hide a wallet with there's a way to create a hidden wallet that's like got 2 passwords on it, and people have pointed out to me that that's an easier way to do what I demonstrated in this video. But if you're interested, come on, baby. I have so many ledger. Okay, maybe it's on the third one. It's called How to Hide. Oh no, it's gonna get. I have so many of these. Ah, here it is. How to hide your Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on the Ledger Nano S. And in this video, I go through that whole process. How you can you can set up a brand new ledger on the same ledger, right? You basically do a reset of the ledger and then set it up as new, and it'll create a new 24-word recovery phrase. And then you can use that ledger to store some crypto, and then do another reset and restore to the original 24-word recovery phrase. And that way you've effectively hidden the crypto that you did on config number 2. But like I said, there's another way to do that with the hidden password thing, which is a feature of the ledger. Hidden wallet. There it is. All right. So it gives you plausible deniability, right? So if someone comes in and says, "Give me all your crypto," and you show me your PIN, give me your PIN, and you use the faux PIN, right? The first PIN, and it has some crypto in there. And then you give it to the robber guy and say, "Okay, here's my ledger. Now you know my PIN. Have a good time." And they run away with your ledger, never knowing there was more crypto in there. Or like it's the government or whatever, and someone wants to see what you got, and you show them using that PIN number 1, and they see your balance, and they don't know that you've got that second PIN that has more. That's plausible deniability, right? advanced kind of stuff. I should do a video on how to do that as well. Hi, Frank Piazza. Plausible deniability. Right. I mean, if you have a ledger, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if it's the tax man, just show him your crypto, right? I don't know, how you're going to hide it. I recently looked at my Ledger Nano S and noticed the price in USD of my Bitcoin is not there, just the 0.05. Do I need to update? Well, as long as it's showing the correct amount, right? Like here, where it shows that it's 0.05, but I guess underneath it's not showing you that USD. In my case, it's $1.89. If it's not showing that, it sounds like it's kind of glitched. You might want to like reinstall Ledger Live. You might try the update, see if that works. And if it still doesn't show the US dollar balance, then you probably want to go ahead and reinstall Ledger Live. And don't worry, your keys, your private keys will be safe on the Ledger, right? Reinstalling, reinstalling Ledger Live doesn't erase any of your keys. But it does mean that you'll have to reset up your accounts, right? You'll have to reinstall Ledger Live. There won't be any accounts on there. You'll have to re-scan for all of your different accounts. So it might be a good idea to have a spreadsheet or a piece of paper that lists all of the coins stored on there, so that you don't have to like go through every coin looking for something that you might have forgotten about. Because the keys will still be there, but it's up to you to rescan for those wallets, right? You might have, but if you've got 5 Bitcoin wallets, it's going to find all of them when you do the rescan. But let's say I forgot about my Vertcoin and forgot to rescan for the Vertcoin. You want to make sure that you get all your accounts set up again. So reinstalling Ledger Live might be a solution for that. If it's not showing you your current value, you might want to do that. Also, if it's not showing you the current US dollar value, that's possibly a connection issue. There's 2 types of connection issues with Ledger Live. Number 1 is I'm not connected to the internet. It might show me my balances based on the last time I used it, even if I'm not connected to the internet, right? It might say can't synchronize. What's up, buddy?
I want to help Anna.
Well, go ask mommy. Okay. If I'm not connected to the internet, it might not show me the current value, right? It might show me my last balance the last time. Then there's another issue that can occur. I've noticed it happened to me once. Ledger servers were down. My internet was fine, but Ledger, I couldn't connect to Ledger. Unfortunately, and full disclosure, there is some functionality to the Ledger that depends on Ledger Live. So, in other words, you have to be able to connect to their servers to do certain things. I don't know about send and receive, but I know like balance updates and that kind of thing, they have to be online, right? So don't worry if if France gets nuked and their servers go offline, you can always restore to a different wallet that's compatible. They have like the 24-word recovery phrase is a BIP39. There are other wallets you can restore these to. So, but I just thought I'd point that out, that Ledger itself needs to be, their servers have to be online for the wallet to function, full functionality. I've had that happen where something didn't work right, and I realized it was because Ledger was down. So that can happen. XRP. Let's talk a little bit about XRP. It's number 3. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm using I'm using Chrome. I'm using Bakkt. This is the new this is the new Brave browser. It's a new. It won't update from the old one. So if you're using the old one that you downloaded last month or the month before, it's based on Mozilla. The new one is based on Chromium. So what you have to do is go to their website and re-download it. And as you might notice, it looks more like Chrome, right? When you go to settings, this is it looks like Chrome now, right? This is my Brave browser. It used to look more like Mozilla. So that's a new thing. Oh, I'm sorry. So we were talking about XRP. We'll go to price charts over here. XRP is number 3. A lot of people are interested in Ripple. The company is Ripple. Their token is XRP. There have been a lot of back and forth. First of all, it's not a open source project. It's not a decentralized exchange of value. It is a centralized company. They use blockchain technology, and they partner with banks, but they're not strictly a like the cryptocurrency community is decentralized. The whole idea of Bitcoin is that it's decentralized. It doesn't depend on banks, third parties, centralized servers. But XRP does. It uses blockchain technology, but it is a privately owned company, and it works with banks. But their business model is pretty good, and as you can see, being number 3 in market cap, they got something going on, right? So you can buy XRP on exchanges, and XRP is supported on the ledger. There's some desktop type wallets you can use for XRP. So, and a lot of people believe in XRP. They think it's going to be bigger than Bitcoin. And as you can see right now, the price is like 50 cents, right? So there may be some room to grow. XRP was, let's see if we can go here. This is the chart. This is the all-time chart, right? As you can see in January of this year, it was like $3.65. So it's like 50 cents now. So if it goes back to its highs, you could triple your money or multiply your money times 6, I guess, if you bought it at 50 cents. But there's no guarantee it's going to go back to its all-time high. But it might. It might do that and more. Who knows? But it's a pretty sound company. But like I said, it's a little bit frowned on in the cryptocurrency community because it's not a decentralized token like Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's privately owned, and it's not really strictly decentralized. But might be worth your while if you're, if you're looking for a coin that is relatively cheap at the moment. Nothing will be bigger than BTC. Bill Clinton loves XRP. That's right. Bill Clinton did some sort of forum where he spoke, and he talked about XRP, or it was hosted by Ripple or something. He's involved, right? But there's a lot of positive stories about Ripple. I would like to see Ripple do well and gain attention to bring people more exposure to the entire crypto community, right? Even though it's not fully what we would consider a decentralized currency, it is blockchain based, and it is it's a cryptocurrency. So it could bring attention to the sector. Biggest bang for your buck is Theta. Could be. Theta, I think Theta is one of those ERC20 tokens, right? You know, I wish that I could just tell at a glance whether they're ERC20 tokens or not. But I guess I can't. I guess I could go to Etherscan. And just check. Right? Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, it's an ERC20 token. Maybe I should have bought some Theta today instead of Bakkt. Right? Bakkt was a little bit pricey, but what the heck? Right? I just wanted to show you guys how to do it. And then, well, we're running out of time. Maybe we'll do a cheaper ERC20 token some other time. Guys, thanks for joining me tonight. That didn't seem like there were a lot of people asking me questions. But if I missed your question, I apologize. Throw them up in the comments, maybe. And I see comments on my phone as they come in. So I try to respond to them if I can. So if I missed one of your questions, throw it up in the comments. I'd like to remind everyone that every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do the live stream, the live Q&A in LA. Please join me again next week. If you have any questions that I didn't get to, like I said, just throw them up in the comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you guys again soon. And keep our thumbs up this week for crypto. We could see some great things happening.